At the most basic level, your body is made up of energy. That energy, collective consciousness, organizes and condenses itself into the physical body, but before it does this, it organizes itself into chakras, which lie along meridian lines. These chakras are centers of energy that lie along energy channels, and each one holds a very specific vibration and has a specific purpose. Each chakra is a specific expression of prana, otherwise known as life force or source energy. The chakras look a bit like funnels of energy or vortices. They both absorb and emit energy. When a chakra is out of alignment, meaning that it is not allowing enough life force energy in, it throws you as a being out of equilibrium. It becomes a serious imbalance within the system. When chakras are out of alignment, they appear very small and they do not emit or absorb very much energy. They also change their color, pattern, texture, and sound. The solar plexus chakra, also known as Manipura, is the third chakra relative to the body in the energetic system. It is located in the pit of your stomach, above your navel, and right where your diaphragm resides. It is associated with fire, the sun, and the color yellow. The solar plexus governs the stomach, liver, gallbladder, kidneys, the large intestine, much of the muscular system, adrenal glands, pancreas, diaphragm, and also the skin. Obviously, ailments involving any aspect of the body that is governed by the solar plexus points to the fact that the solar plexus chakra is currently out of alignment. The solar plexus chakra is the center of personal power as well as personal identity. Because of this, it's directly related to personal willpower, ego/the personality, personal freedom, confidence, proactivity, responsibility, reliability, self-esteem, authenticity, personal honor and integrity, ethics, confirmation, a sense of personal control, and personal choice. This chakra, quite frankly, converts inertia into movement. Now, obviously, if it's associated with all of these things that I've just listed, it's also associated with the opposite of those things. Things like anxiety, low self-esteem, jealousy, controlling behaviors, competitiveness, lack of confidence, insecurity, feeling trapped and not free, lack of integrity, no sense of self, inauthenticity, and inertia. So what is it that causes the solar plexus chakra to go so intensely out of alignment? The answer is relationships. This is often felt within the context of relationships as that pit in the stomach feeling. Now here's the thing. In most of our relationships, we don't feel seen, we don't feel heard, we don't feel felt, we don't feel understood. Our personal identity is not really considered or even acknowledged by other people in our reality. These relationships negatively impact our self-esteem. These relationships are relationships in which we're being controlled and lose a sense of freedom of being. Anytime you're inauthentic and have a weak sense of self, this chakra will go out of alignment. If we do not act with personal honor or integrity, we will cause the solar plexus to go out of alignment. These types of relationships, especially if they occur in our childhood years and therefore form the foundation of our relationship not only with other people and with ourselves, what they do is they set up a pattern where we betray ourselves, we have a negative relationship with ourselves, we have no concept of self, and we do not exercise personal choice. Now there's this myth out there that narcissists must have a really strong solar plexus chakra. This couldn't be further from the truth. Below narcissism, same as codependency, which is the dominant style of relationship on the planet today, what you have is a deep-seated sense of self that is shame. So it couldn't be any farther from feeling good about oneself, or feeling free, or feeling, fill in the blank. All of these things, the positive aspects that are associated with the solar plexus, are completely absent in the narcissist. So I don't want you to start thinking that if you have such a strong ego, you have a really abundant solar plexus chakra. What I need you to do is to do away with the concept of creating balance in the chakra system. It's complete BS. It's just what we do when we apply our third-dimensional physical minds to an energy system which does not operate according to the physical dimension. So it's not like by taking energy away or like closing a chakra or opening it further you can maintain some kind of balance. That is not the way that chakras work. Ideally, the more open that all your chakras could be, the more in balance your entire embodiment would be. So you're not going to be achieving any kind of balance within the body by diminishing any chakra. Okay, so now that we went over that, how do we create a solar plexus chakra that is in alignment? Step number 1, you live your life by the tenet of authenticity. The more authentic you are, the more in alignment your solar plexus chakra is going to be. What this means is be completely honest with yourself about who you are, what you want, and all of that good stuff. And then make your personal life choices according to that authentic truth. To understand more about this, I suggest that you watch my video called How to Be Authentic. 2. Live in congruence with a personal sense of integrity. A lack of integrity should be defined as the quality of not adhering to principles communicated by you and your own conscience, and not living in a state of wholeness in and of yourself. For example, if your conscience tells you that honesty is right for you and you lie, you are demonstrating a lack of integrity. 2 parts of you are split in that moment, and you will feel bad as a result of it. Basically, if you are out of alignment with your integrity, your internal guidance system is taking you right, and you are going left. To understand more about this, I encourage you to watch my video titled Integrity: What is Integrity and How to Build Integrity. 3. Know that you have the power to choose. The solar plexus is all about the personal power to choose. Obviously, this is easier said than done because most of us have grown up in controlling environments where we feel like we don't have the power to choose. But coming back to the awareness of and the exercising of this power is inherently essential. The solar plexus is so much about personal choice and the empowerment involved in choosing and deciding for yourself. Now, the best way, as far as I'm concerned, because the natural state of a being in general is a state of health, that means the natural state of being is an open chakra. The best way to go about creating any improvement in any of the chakras is to just figure out what energies, thought or actions or words, are opposing the natural energies associated with that chakra, and focusing on directly creating healing with that. So, if personal empowerment is an issue, what thoughts or words or actions are getting in the way of you feeling personal empowerment? Or if it's a sense of self-worth, what thoughts or words or actions or experiences need resolve there? Find a way to resolve them. I offer plenty of processes for this. Especially face any of the parts within you and shadows related to not feeling empowered to choose. If you struggle with this, you may have trouble with making decisions. For more information about this, watch my video titled Indecision: Decisions and Indecisiveness. Commit to the path of mastering relationships, which is essentially mastery of life itself, because life is nothing but relationships. Okay, you gotta master relationships. That's gonna be your lifelong commitment. Anytime you're in a relationship that strips you of your sense of self, anytime you're in a relationship where you're in a power struggle, anytime you're in a relationship where you abandon your authenticity, your solar plexus chakra will be completely screwed. Essentially, if you're in a relationship where you don't feel seen, heard, felt, or understood, you'll perceive the other person to be a threat to your sense of self, including your self-concept and sense of personal choice. What we ultimately must learn to implement is the idea that in relationship, there is nothing in this universe that is not a part of ourselves. Therefore, by taking it as part of yourself, you cannot harm that thing, or not acknowledge that thing, or not see it, feel it, hear it, or understand it, without also doing that to yourself. So it becomes part of your best interests to meet the other person's best interests. And this is the foundation of trust in a relationship. It's what will create positive relationships in your future. If we saw this as the definition of a healthy relationship, we could clearly see that any time we or the other person in the relationship was acting different to this. Don't sweep your relationship issues under the rug. That is an absolute disaster. It is a recipe for all your chakras, not just your solar plexus, to go completely out of alignment. What you need to do is to create resolve and move all of your relationships in the direction of this definition that I've just given you for a healthy relationship. And if you can't, despite all efforts, consider separating from that person. If not permanently, temporarily. I have countless videos. The majority of my teachings are on relationships. So literally anything you do to improve the quality of your relationships will improve the way your solar plexus and all other chakras in your system are operating. 5. Many of the dimensions that belong to this universe don't adhere to the same, let's call it, laws that your physical time-space reality operate according to. Specifically, there is no time and space. This means to think something is to cause that thing to happen or to be instantly. It's a think open and it opens kind of thing. In the physical dimension, there's a time and space buffer between thought and thing. The chakra system influences the physical, but is a multidimensional aspect of you, which is why they are invisible to most people. This means if you think of your solar plexus chakra opening and visualize it opening, it opens. The visualization that I see working the best is when you put your hands over this chakra and you imagine it almost like a vortex of brilliant yellow light. Now I want you to imagine it opening, even spinning clockwise, opening to about a foot wide. Sense this chakra pulling in energy from the world with each inhale and emitting your personal power and personal energy to the world with each exhale. If you're interested, I also have a chakra meditation available on my website which can guide you through this process. 6. The solar plexus chakra is quite interesting because the majority of chakras in your energy system are primarily influenced by the color that is associated with them. Now, the solar plexus chakra is not actually the same. Yellow is the color that is associated with the solar plexus chakra, and even though yellow does cause the solar plexus chakra to open in some people, let's say that your personal truth is that you don't like the color yellow. The color yellow will in fact close this chakra. So I want you to think about color and color therapy relative to this chakra different than you usually do. Any time you are authentic about what color you love and feel ultimately drawn to, that color will open your solar plexus chakra. That means surround yourself in the colors that you are completely authentically in love with. Wear these colors. Eat these colors. Just make sure that whatever color you're choosing is chosen from your free will and your personal choice according to your authentic preferences. 7. Go ahead and stimulate it with sounds. This is relatively easy to do. There are crystal singing bowls that are specifically designed for the solar plexus chakra. There are binaural beats and harmonics available online specifically dedicated to the solar plexus chakra. You can also stick with thousands of years worth of toning tradition. To do this, sit in meditation and stimulate your solar plexus chakra by chanting Ram or depending on which one resonates in your stomach area the most. Again, if you use these sounds or any sound, I want you to play around with the tonality so that you can feel the most vibration that you can in the area of the solar plexus in your body specifically. 8. Use herbs and essential oils to cause your solar plexus chakra to come into alignment through the law of entrainment, same as with sounds. My personal favorite for the solar plexus are the following: ginger, dandelion, saffron, turmeric, cinnamon, chamomile, bergamot, lemon balm, lemongrass, fennel, marshmallow root, lemon, milk thistle, and calendula. 9. Eat foods that stimulate and assist your solar plexus chakra. I'll give you a list of the ones that I have noticed do the most for your solar plexus. Bananas, pears, pumpkin, yellow peppers, squash, sunflower seeds, lentils, curries, corn, pineapple, lemons, cumin, brown rice, spelt, cardamom, sauerkraut, oats, and ginger. Now it's important to know for those of you that are nutrition freaks that any food that supports any of the bodily systems that are associated with this chakra will in turn cause this chakra to come into further alignment. 10. Bring certain mineral spirits into your home. Okay, so here is where I'm going to get very aggressive and tell you that I have very specific ideas about which mineral spirits actually cause the most influence on your solar plexus chakra. Having said this, before I go into this list, I'm going to say that there is one stone that actually reigns supreme. It's citrine. Citrine affects your solar plexus chakra unlike any stone I have ever seen. My other top picks are honeycomb calcite, sunstone, amber, golden beryl, yellow tourmaline, yellow topaz, carnelian, hematite, tiger's eye, and spirit quartz. 11. Move your body. So incredibly important to bring your solar plexus chakra into alignment. This chakra is so much about movement that it doesn't really matter what kind of movement you do or what kind of exercise you do, as long as it is in alignment with your personal and authentic preferences. The tradition of yoga has many poses that are designed to assist the opening of your solar plexus chakra. So feel free to attend a yoga class and tell them that specifically you want some of these moves, or look them up online. Another awesome thing for your solar plexus chakra is abdominal massage, and it's something that I suggest highly if you know that you personally are struggling with the solar plexus chakra. 12. Deliberately think thoughts, say words, and take actions as long as they're authentic. Not a lie like many affirmations are, or an attempt to be in denial about the truth of your personal frequency. But any step you can take in the direction of feeling a sense of your self-esteem or a sense of personal empowerment is going to help your solar plexus chakra come into alignment, as long as it's an honest thought. For example, many of us can't say, I have the most amazing body possible, but some of us can say, I really like my hair. That would actually do more, that thought would do more for your solar plexus chakra than any kind of affirmation that you were trying to convince yourself you should use to have better self-esteem. Exercise your free will by making choices that reflect your true self, especially choices regarding what relationships to nourish and keep close to you. 13. Get out there and take some risks. Now, I'm not saying take risks that are stupid to take or that line you up with serious amounts of trouble, but I'm saying that most of us like to live our life too much inside the comfort zone, and the reality is that our solar plexus chakra, like I said, loves forward movement, as long as it is in alignment with our own personal truth. So here's how to know the difference. There's a big difference between somebody who wants to do something and it's scary, and someone who doesn't want to do something and it's scary. If you're taking action from I don't want to do it and it's scary, you are not going to line up with good results, and it's not going to do good for your solar plexus chakra. However, if it's I really want to do this and it feels terrifying, taking that action and taking those risks in life is going to assist your solar plexus chakra. Bottom line, you need to take those risks to feel a personal sense of empowerment and personal choice. 14. Get out in the sun. The solar plexus chakra is so affected by sunlight. It governs the skin, and so exposing your skin to sunlight is one of the best things you can do to bring this chakra into alignment. I'm not saying go outside and cook yourself. I'm saying just expose your skin to sunlight. By intentionally doing things which enable your solar plexus chakra to come into alignment and to open, you will be setting yourself up to live the life you intended to live, the one you're choosing to live. You will be developing a healthy ego. When you feel you radiating your authentic personal truth out into the world, what happens is relationships will come to you that are in perfect harmony with that authentic self. And this means your relationships will be based on who you really are. This means that you will be living the life that you really want, the life that you consciously choose. Have a good week.